I've been accused of I was not monumentally successful in speaking the truth.
Let me ask you again. It's a simple question. Some people can answer it straight away.
Right? That's my point.
And I'm not saying that I'm glad I'm being persecuted for false human trafficking inside of Romania. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah. Is my life difficult? Yeah. Am I complaining about that? No. In fact, I'd hate for it to be any other way.
An eye for an eye in this world.
Tell me-
I'm not condoning.
Give me-
I'm being a professional and answering
Give
to
me
you
one
why
example.
it happened.
Give me one example of
In a jail cell, do I belong here? No, but am I here? Yes. I was pretty logical about it, and I was like, okay, I've got a lot of things I need to get done.
Misogynistic tweets. Picture this. Piers Morgan, with that unmistakable, incredulous look on his face, laying bare the tweets of Andrew Tate like an explosive on live television. It's not just any set of tweets. We're talking about the kind that makes your jaw drop, eyes widen, and blood boil all at once. Morgan, that seasoned interviewer extraordinaire, didn't hold back. He unfurled a series of Tate's tweets, ones that earned the label of the purest definition of misogyny by none other than Morgan himself. Can you imagine the weight of that statement? It's like dropping a truth shocker and watching the fallout. But what exactly was in these tweets that caused such an uproar? Tate's views on women and his treatment of his partner were thrust into the limelight. It wasn't just controversial, it was the kind of stuff that incites outrage, the sort that makes you want to stand up and say, "Hold on a minute, what did he just say?" As Morgan read them aloud, it was like a lightning bolt striking. People were shocked, furious, and rightly so. Tate's words didn't just toe the line of disrespect, they stomped all over it with a disregard that was beyond belief. Think about it. An interview turned into a battleground of ideologies, a clash of values laid bare for the world to witness. It wasn't just about airing someone's dirty laundry, it was about holding up a mirror to society's uglier side, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths. And that outrage? It spread like wildfire. People weren't just talking, they were roaring. Social media lit up, debates raged on, and opinions clashed in a cacophony of voices refusing to stay silent in the face of such blatant disrespect and disregard for women. Morgan didn't just unveil tweets, he unraveled a narrative that begged a larger conversation, one that called for accountability, respect, and a reckoning with deeply ingrained attitudes. It wasn't just about Tate's words, it was about the impact they had and the conversation they sparked. Controversial interview. All right, buckle up for this wild ride. Andrew Tate didn't just sit back and take it during the interview. Oh no, he came out swinging, denying allegations left, right, and center like a boxer in the ring. First off, let's talk about the big accusation, coercion. Tate didn't just deny it, he practically slammed it down, saying he was coerced into this whole interview circus. Picture this. Tate, with a raised eyebrow and a firm voice, vehemently denied any involvement in what he deemed a Matrix attack. Can you feel the drama in the air? It's like a movie plot unfolding in real life. But that's not all. Hold on to your hat, because Tate's not just juggling one hot potato, he's got a whole sack of them.
I've been accused of I was not monumentally successful in speaking the truth.
Let me ask you again. It's a simple question. Some people can answer it straight away.
You see other people getting out who've done worse things than you after a week because they've signed a piece of paper or admitted to something or whatever they've done.
Ask entities and find out if it's a
I know
word.
what it means.
If it's not, make sure it's added to Webster on Top G's orders.
Okay, just
One of the two outlets deciding to use controlled anger was more beneficial than sitting around feeling sorry for myself.
You see, there's this looming cloud of charges hovering over his head like a storm ready to burst. Allegations about forming a criminal gang to exploit women? Yep, Tate's facing trial for that in Romania. But what does he do in the face of these charges? Does he wilt under the pressure? Nah. He stands tall, fists clenched, and denies it all. This isn't just denial, it's a showdown, a standoff between the allegations and his staunch refusal to accept them. Imagine the tension in that interview room. It's like watching a high-stakes poker game where every word, every denial is a bet placed on the table. Tate's playing his cards, denying the coercion, pushing back against accusations that could change the course of his life. This interview wasn't just controversial, it was a battleground of words, an arena where Tate fought tooth and nail against what he saw as an unjust portrayal of himself. Whether you believe him or not, one thing's for sure, this interview wasn't just a chat, it was a clash of narratives, a narrative that could reshape Tate's entire future.
Parts of my history that I'm not prepared to share, Piers.
You've
But let me
seen
tell you,
people...
I said it to Ben. I said people who've done their own fighting and seen their own violence.
Right?
That's my point.
And I'm not saying that I'm glad I'm being persecuted for false human trafficking inside of Romania. I'm not saying that at all.
I'm determined a mere period of time without provoking terrorism.
So out of interest, what would you have done if you'd been Israel after October the 7th?
I wouldn't say I was looking for it, but I wasn't ignorant to the fact that it might happen, and I wasn't afraid.
Tate's views on influence and responsibility. Andrew Tate, the man of the hour, took a firm stance when it came to his influence and the responsibilities that come with it. Picture this: Tate standing tall, facing a barrage of questions, defending his influence like a general defending his fortress. First things first, Tate didn't just defend his influence on teenage boys, he practically doubled down on it. He staunchly denied any fault in how his messages might be misconstrued by these impressionable minds. It's like he was saying, hey, I'm just here speaking my truth. How they take it is on them. But here's the twist. He's not just about pushing buttons. Tate claims to be a believer in empowered women. It's like he's got this paradox going on, defending his stance while also championing women's empowerment. Confusing? Absolutely. Intriguing? Without a doubt. He emphasizes this belief in empowerment, but here's where it gets interesting. He's quick to draw lines in the sand, highlighting differences in roles between men and women. It's not just about equality, it's about acknowledging what he sees as inherent differences in responsibilities. Imagine a tug-of-war between traditional roles and modern empowerment, and Tate's right in the middle, pulling both ends of the rope. This interview wasn't just a Q&A session, it was a battleground of ideologies. Tate's defending his turf, his beliefs, and his influence, all while balancing on this tightrope of conflicting viewpoints. Whether you agree or disagree with him, you can't deny the intrigue in his stand, the clash between modern ideals and age-old perceptions. It's like watching a philosophical debate unfold, where every word carries weight and every viewpoint challenges the status quo. Tate's not just defending himself, he's presenting a narrative that blurs the lines between empowerment, responsibility, and societal expectations. Love him or loathe him, you can't ignore the complexity of his perspective. Legal battles and public outcry. Hold on to your hat because Andrew Tate's year has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride through legal storms and public uproar that make your head spin. First off, let's talk legal battles. Picture this: Tate in the eye of a legal storm in Romania, facing charges that could shake the ground beneath his feet. We're talking serious accusations here, charges of physical exploitation and human trafficking. It's not just a legal tiff, it's the kind of legal hurricane that can change a person's entire life trajectory. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Here's where things get even more intense. While Tate's dealing with these legal thunderstorms, there's a whole tempest brewing in the court of public opinion. Backlash against the interview he did? Oh, it's not just whispers of disapproval, it's a full-blown storm of criticism. Calls for a boycott of the interview echo through social media corridors, voices rising against the platform given to Tate.
And I also believe, I truly believe that God is extremely giving. There's the saying, goes around, comes around.
There are people out there that did, and I didn't see them as better than me. And I thought, why are these people who I don't see as my superior living in it?
Try to make sure I have the most interesting vernacular I can possibly have, a wide vocabulary, so I can be very specific with my points.
Yeah. Is my life difficult? Yeah. Am I complaining about that? No. In fact, I'd hate it for it to be any other way.
Watch them. Watch the shows. I say the same thing, and by the end, the chicks are in love with me.
People aren't just murmuring, they're shouting from the rooftops, criticizing the very act of providing a stage for someone amid such serious allegations. Imagine this whirlwind, a maelstrom of legal woes and public outcry colliding. It's not just a clash of opinions, it's a collision of values and judgments, a tornado of controversy swirling around Tate. This year wasn't just turbulent, it was a full-on hurricane of events that tested Tate's resilience in the face of legal battles while withstanding the force of public opinion. Love him or loathe him, you can't deny the magnitude of the storms he's weathered and the impact they've had on both his life and his public image.
I think anybody doing anything which directly damages civilians is disgusting and abhorrent.
For my own mental well-being. And if I felt particularly, when I say pain, pain is an awkward word.
An eye for an eye in this world.
Tell me,
I'm not condoning. I'm being a professional and answering
to you why it happened. Give me one example.
In a jail cell, do I belong here? No, but am I here? Yes. I was pretty logical about it, and I was like, okay, I've got a lot of things I need to get done.
The backlash to Tate's interview. It's not just an interview, it's become the talk of the town, stirring up a storm of opinions and reactions that's hard to ignore. Enter Piers Morgan, the man behind the controversial interview. He's not just sitting back quietly. Oh no, he's jumping headfirst into the fray, defending his decision to give Andrew Tate a platform. Picture this: Morgan standing firm, advocating for shedding light on controversial figures like Tate. It's like he's holding up a torch in the dark saying, "We need to see the whole picture, whether we like it or not." But that's not all. Morgan's not just defending the interview, he's taking the bull by the horns. He's addressing the criticisms head-on, promising viewers an extraordinary encounter that dives into multiple contentious topics. It's like a dare, a challenge thrown to the audience. Buckle up, this is going to be one wild ride. From COVID-19 to the Israel-Gaza situation, this interview's got it all.
Ben Shapiro thinks bad of
And
me.
if you don't think what happened to the people in Israel on October the 7th is an act of terrorism,
Did I not just say?
I could have gone through the exact same experience with a different mental model and emerged weaker. I believe I've emerged stronger, regardless of the fact.
so you'd be more like Neville Chamberlain, trying to do peace with the Nazis and Winston Churchill trying to kill them.
The backlash to the interview hasn't just been a whisper, it's been a cacophony of dissenting voices. People are questioning the decision to provide Tate with a platform, raising their voices in protest against shining a light on someone with such controversial views and allegations. But Morgan? He's not flinching. Instead, he's standing tall amidst the criticism, defending his choice and promising an interview that's not just about letting Tate speak, but about probing deeper into the murky waters of contentious issues. This isn't just an interview anymore. It's become a battleground of principles, a clash between the desire for transparency and the discomfort of giving a platform to a figure shrouded in controversy. Love him or loathe him, you can't deny Morgan's determination to push forward and present an encounter that's as gripping as it is divisive. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.